morning. How are you this morning? I hope you're having a great day. I'm about to have a great day. I'm here out on the Palmetto Trail, and my goal in the next 2 days is to complete the Lake Moultrie passage. So it's a beautiful day right now. It's probably about 65 degrees and it's supposed to get up in the 70s today. Okay. Hope you're ready to go on an adventure with me, because I'm ready. Haven't been on one in a while. And I'm excited about doing this passage. I believe it'll be very beautiful. And while it may not be deer season, it is turkey season. So, I don't want to be mistaken for a turkey. Let's get started. There's the Beacamobile. Now the Lake Moultrie passage is 26.8 miles, so it'll take me a couple of days to do it. But I'm not going to be videoing the first little section of it, because if you watch my last video, I had done a couple of miles until we got to the to Lake Moultrie. So that's when I will begin recording, is when we get to Lake Moultrie, because that's where I left off in the last video. So let me see which way I'm supposed to go here. Okay, I'll get back with you when we get up to Lake Moultrie. Poor tree. And here we are, Lake Moultrie. Wow, so pretty. And I just came up that way. Yep, that's a climb and that's a climb. But here we go. This is where I left off before. Let's see if we can get to our first campground. So, as we're walking along this levee, we'll follow it for a while, and over there on that point is a little town called Palmetto. So I'll show you when we get there. Or if I see anything interesting in between, I'll let you know. Right over there. I think it's like 3 or 4 miles to there. See you in a bit. I'll tell you what, along this levee, there is a lot of narrow leaf plantain growing. So if I get a boo-boo, I'll have a go-to. But, and also I wanted to let you know that on the way up here through the short stretch of woods, it was about a 1/4 mile from my car to here, I saw 2 deer. I was so excited. They were running away from me in the woods, but yeah, I always love it when I see wildlife. I wish I could have got a picture of them, but maybe I'll see some more. I hope so. So I come down off of there and come back here to the woods for a few minutes. So I needed to find a place to relieve myself, and run across this. Something's been eating out here. Got bones scattered. Ooh, even over here. Yeah. I guess it's a deer. Look at that. Yep. Deer horn. All right, back up on trail. Y'all, I think I just saw a bald eagle flying. I watched where it landed, so I'm gonna try to get, when I get up close, I'm gonna see if I can find him. Maybe he's still there. That was awesome. Y'all, that is 2 bald eagles right there. There's 2 of them. Oh, he's coming closer. But I don't think. What is a group of buzzards called? Comment below if you know. I keep telling them, not quite yet, but they keep waiting. They're hopeful. Yep, they're following me along. All right, coming into Bono. So this is Bono. CT's at the lake. Nice quiet little town, not very big. I'm supposed to turn here. And there's Bono Beach down there. First break of the day. Whew. It's 12 o'clock, so my front top strap on my pack pulled loose. So I'm going to see if I can fix that. I hope I can fix that. It's very uncomfortable without it. But and then I'm going to lay back on my pad for a little while and take a little break. And I stopped at the store in Bono and got me a Diet Mountain Dew. But I just got through town and I'm back in the woods. And let me show you what it looks like here. Yep. So let me see if I can get this strap fixed. And after I take a break, I'll get back with you. Thanks for joining me. It's a big old rock down there. Walking along a canal ditch. And there is a graveyard over there. And I mean, there's nothing around. Looks like a hunting club over there. But yeah, out here in the middle of nowhere, there's a graveyard. But it's quiet, peaceful. Let's get on down the road. I'm pretty close to where I'm going to camp tonight. Shouldn't be too much further. This is my tent. And cooking supper. That, my friends, is a huge gator. Just swimming along the shoreline. It's a beautiful day. And as I'm walking along the levee here of the Lake Moultrie passage of the Palmetto Trail, it's cloudy, but the sun's out and it's about 65 degrees, perfect weather. It's supposed to rain tonight, but I just want to let y'all know that my hike did not quite work out like I planned it, which has been happening a lot lately. but my plan was to hike in 9 miles, and then there was a camp spot, and to camp there for the night, and then next morning get up and hike 9 more miles to another camp spot, which was on a beach, and then the next day get up and hike about 7 miles to the end of the Lake Moultrie passage and have somebody coming to pick me up, take me back to my car. things did not work out the first night. I got to my campsite, took a lot of pictures, and you see them in the video, but because it's a beautiful area. But got to my campsite and found out that I had very little power on my phone left, and while I had a power bank with me, I forgot to bring my charging cord. Think I'd know better, but I turned my phone off. I let my husband and son know that that I was going to be turning my phone off, not to worry, but I needed to save that power. And there was no way that I was going to stay out here at this far from 71 years old without having some way to get in touch with somebody in case of an emergency. So that's why I cut my phone off to save the energy. And I said, well, and also I have a bad knee, and it had started acting up really bad and hurt me all through the night. I took a pain pill, but didn't seem to do much good. I need to get it looked at. But I said, well, that's the way it goes. Sometimes you have to change your plans and look out for yourself. So there was no way I was going to spend another night not be able to take video, not be able to take pictures, and most of all, not be able to contact anybody in case of emergency, because an hour after I got up this morning, I was on 0 power. So I decided last night to hike back to my car this morning, the same way I came. And I went through a little town called Bono, which you see in the video, and stopped at a store there and bought a power cord, but my knee would not allow me to hike back. So I'm headed back to the car, painfully so, but I'll go get my knee looked at. I'm just thankful to be able to be doing this as long as I've been able to do it. And hopefully the doctor can get me straightened out to where I can get back on trail. But for right now, I'm headed back, and I'm sorry it's so short. I was intending to do the entire Lake Moultrie passage, and that one little glitch sent me back. On the way in, I was thinking, you know what, this is prime gator territory. I wonder why I haven't seen any gators. And then this morning, there he was. Nice gator. He was probably 10 foot, and he was after some birds that were floating on the water. But he started to come to shore, and I said, no, we won't do that today. You just stay right where you are. You don't want to mess with Bika. So, but anyway, you have to be flexible. You have to look after yourself. So that's what I'm doing today on this hike. And I'll be back to my car before too long. Bika's out, and I'll see you back at the car. All right, I'm back down in the woods. Probably half a mile from the car. And boy, have I got a story to tell y'all when I get back to the car. You're not gonna believe it. So, feels good down in here because it was starting to get a little warm up on the levee. So I'm glad I'm back in the woods. Oh, there's the Bika-mobile. just like I left her. Okay, folks, here we are back at the Beacon-mobile, getting ready to head home. And I guess that wraps up our adventure, but what an adventure it was. It always seems like more of an adventure when things go wrong, and then you have to problem solve. But let me tell you what happened on the way back. My knee got to hurting so bad, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna sit down, take a break, take a pain pill, and just sit down and give it time to kick in, because I still had a couple of miles left to go. So I did, and I was on top of the levee, so I laid alongside the road on the levee, and it's just soft grass and weeds, and I just laid down on the grass and weeds. I didn't even get my pad out or anything. Took my medicine, laid my head back on my backpack as a pillow. Oh man, it was like 68 degrees. Sorry for the traffic noise, I'm right next to a highway. But 68 degrees, there was a light breeze blowing, the sun was behind the clouds, and I was laying on the soft grass, and especially when that pain med kicked in, I was just about to go to sleep. It was so nice, and there was no noise, there was no one around at all. The only noise there was the water lapping against the levee and the birds singing, and I tell you what, it was relaxing. But I could have stayed there a long time. But I said, you know what, I need to get up, get back to the Beacon-mobile. So I got up, and I hadn't took 20 steps hardly, and all of a sudden on the other side of the levee, where it drops sharply off, there's swamp, and I heard splashing. And I looked, and a deer had gotten up out of the weeds in the swamp and started running through the swamp just as fast as it could. And I tell you what, folks, I got to learn to be quicker on the draw, because it was running real fast. And I grabbed my camera, and just as I did, it left the swamp and took off up a hill and went in the woods, and I missed it. So that was 3 deer that I've seen on this trip, and didn't get a one of them. And like I say, I also saw the bald eagles and couldn't get that either. Give me a nice slow moving gator. That's about my speed right there. But also I wanted to tell you something that was really strange. In my last video, I recorded where I had put at the beginning of the Lake Moultrie trail, there was a train track, and I'd put a dime on it, and it couldn't never find it because that had come through, and I just couldn't find it anywhere. But this time I bought a quarter with me, and I put a quarter on the track. And then when I got to my camp that night, I says, that was a stupid thing to do, because I'm not even going back that way. So anyway, turns out I did go back that way, because I had to come back the same way I went. And last night at camp, I could still hear the train, but it was way far off, so it wasn't disturbing my sleep at all. But I'll tell you in a minute what was disturbing my sleep. But I bet you 6 or 8 trains came by that night. You could hear them way off in the distance, and I said, I'll never find it. But since I was coming back that way, but guess what, folks? I found it. I could not believe it. I found the quarter that the train ran over. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. Anyway, there's my souvenir. But I tell you what did keep me up last night. Seems like with me it's always something. You know, the last time it was the train because I was like a quarter of a mile from the train track. And this time, some good old boy on the other side of the levee had a dozen or two hunting dogs. And they barked all night long. All night long. And, I mean, it wasn't as bad as a train, because I did get kind of used to it after a while, and I thought, well, no wild animals are going to come around here. Not with all those dogs barking. But that's what my night was like. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep, but and I'm really sad that I didn't get to finish my plan for doing this section of the trail. But I'm gonna get my knee checked out, and hopefully I'll catch it later. All right, Bika out. I'll see y'all. God bless.